Ohio State football is finally coming back. It's finally happening. This is not a drill. They're playing on Saturday. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, college football has not been happening. Like, I know it has, but it also hasn't because whatever, Ohio State hasn't been playing. I'm still a little nervous. I'm still a little cautious, especially because everything is starting to ramp back up again. #COVID. But I'm going to enjoy it knowing that as of now, 8 straight weeks of Ohio State football are scheduled. It has not felt the same. Sitting on my couch every Saturday morning trying to watch College Game Day or Big Noon Kickoff, the passion is gone. It's not gone. The excitement. Saturday mornings just haven't felt the same. The chill in the morning is a little bit different. The leaves aren't crunching the same when I walk over them. The pumpkin spice creamer I use just doesn't scream football. I don't think pumpkin spice anything screams football. I think it screams basic girl fall, but whatever. Anyway, so today I'm going to be breaking down the Ohio State-Nebraska game that is set to take place on Saturday, as well as giving my insight into what I think is going to happen. Ohio State's going to win. So the last time Nebraska and Ohio State met up was back in 2019 when COVID was not a thing and college football was not in limbo every 5 minutes. Ohio State put on a dazzling performance, scoring 48 points to Nebraska 0 until the last 3 minutes of the game when Nebraska was able to squeeze in a little touchdown there right before the end of the game. So I wish it was a shutout, but it's fine. During that game, Ohio State outgained them 580 yards to their 231. Ohio State had 368 rushing yards and was +3 in turnovers as well. So obviously Ohio State dominated the game the entire time. So, he said hello. Get a dog, they said. It'll be fun, they said. The biggest production from that game really came from Justin Fields. He managed to put up 284 yards total, 212 passing, as well as 72 rushing, and also contributed 4 touchdowns within that game. So obviously going into it, Justin Fields is going to be another huge piece to Ohio State's offense and their success in this game. So nothing short of great expectations from him. With Ohio State returning, aside just from Justin Fields, I gotta put you down, buddy. There aren't too many questions behind Justin Fields returning and what he's going to be able to bring to the Ohio State offense. But I was watching a interview yesterday with Urban Meyer, and he was talking a bit about Ohio State and some of the things that they were losing out on, whether it was on their offense or even on the defensive side, and also what to expect from Justin Fields. And I think one thing he said about Fields that I didn't even really think of or acknowledge is that Justin Fields basically has the speed of a Braxton Miller and the throwing arm of a Dwayne Haskins, which Meyer said is going to make him just an unstoppable force and quite frankly could earn him the right as the best player in the entire country. Okay. He's back. So I think that's going to be really exciting to see, and honestly, I mean, Fields definitely deserves to be in the Heisman conversation for sure. And I know once we're able to get a couple games in, he'll be right back in it, as he deserves. When in doubt, we're going to put peanut butter on a bone, because otherwise I will never be able to finish talking about this. When in doubt, if your dog is ever bothering you, I highly recommend peanut butter on anything that'll keep them busy for more than 3 minutes. While there obviously aren't too many questions surrounding the quarterback position, there are a lot of other questions surrounding some of the defensive back and to replace J.K. Dobbins, who obviously got drafted into the NFL this past season. So Master Teague and Trey Sermon, who transferred for Oklahoma, are the two who will be filling this position. We obviously were able to see Master Teague. We were able to see Teague last year, and Trey Sermon undoubtedly comes from a very strong program. Again, listening to Meyer's interview yesterday, he said that both of these players obviously are able to fill the role. The big question is who is going to be that person who can have that 15-20 carry game. We saw it with Zeke. We were obviously able to see it last year with JK, and then even years prior with Carlos Hyde. So he said as of right now, it's definitely going to be going back and forth between those two. And within the first couple games, he said even maybe after the first game, we'll be able to have that one solid person who we can rely on to have those big games. So of course, not too many questions surrounding the wide receivers with Chris Olave and both Garrett Wilson returning for their season. Really excited to see, again, what this group can do. They've been so strong and headed in such a really powerful direction over the last couple seasons. So, in addition, our offensive line will be led by Wyatt Davis, who's a projected first rounder for the NFL. I know a team who could use an offensive lineman who's good. So again, offensively, not too many questions. Really, the only one is who will be really filling in that void for JK, whether it's Master T or Trey Sermon. Again, something that we will most likely have the answer to after Saturday, if not next Saturday. The place where we do have a lot of questions would be defensively. If we look back to everyone who we lost during the draft in April, we definitely have a lot of positions to fill. Between losing Chase Young, Jeff Okudah, Damon Arnett, there are some spots and some vacancies for people to really step up and fill in that position. Again, this may surprise you. I listened to an interview with Urban Meyer where he talked about our defense, and he said it's still one of the best defenses in the country. There's not a single doubt about that. But basically, Meyer is just saying that the question does come within the secondary. We lost 3 strong players to the NFL within very high draft picks, so now we're going to have to look to younger players to come in and fill those very lofty positions. Again, something that no one's really questioning if Ohio State can do. It's just, are these players ready, and are they going to be able to step up to that same level within that secondary where we saw players like Young and Okudah last season. Flipping to the other side of the field, the Nebraska Cornhuskers will be led by Adrian Martinez at quarterback. When the Huskers played the Buckeyes in 2019, they ran for 184 yards against Ohio State's defense. Nebraska ended up having one of the best running games within the NFL. Nebraska ended up having one of the best running games in the Big Ten last year, averaging over 200 yards per game, so that's cool. However, despite their strong running game, Huskers have not fared too well against Ohio State over the last couple years. In 2018, the team overall went 4-8, losing to Ohio State 36-31, so that was actually close. And then the team went 5-7 overall in their 2019 campaign, losing to Ohio State 48-7. Overall, there are a few question marks for Nebraska, just how strong their quarterbacks can be able to perform. They do have a couple transfers who came in who they're expecting to make a pretty strong impact. Again, it'll be one of those things to see just how well they fare against Ohio State. Some people are saying that Nebraska's going to be coming into this with pretty much just an open playbook. They're going to see what happens and what they can make of it. And a lot of people are saying that Ohio State, this will be more like a scrimmage for them. Overall, I'm picking Ohio State to absolutely just rout Nebraska all the way back to Nebraska. I hate that I said that. That wasn't even funny. Like, that wasn't even a joke. I see the score being 52-17. Don't ask me why. I don't like that I'm going to have Nebraska score 17 points, but I just feel like they will, because they're probably going to get to 52 points and then they're going to put in not their starters. So I expect Justin Fields to have just an immaculate performance. I really expect Ohio State to come out just guns a-swinging. I'm really excited to see what Ohio State can do this year, though. Obviously, coming off of that Clemson loss, which I still think about like way too much, it's really not healthy for me. They're playing with a lot of anger. If Ohio State wins anything less than the national championship this year, it will be a wasted season. Not a wasted season, but it won't be a successful season in their eyes. I think it makes me really excited to see what this team can do, and a lot of times I'm used to Ohio State always having that one game a year that they just end up losing their chances to really do anything. It makes everyone question Ohio State and how strong they actually are. But I really just feel like this team is different. I think that loss to Clemson last year definitely changed them. They're definitely out for blood. And I am so excited to see what happens as long as Corona doesn't just come in and like ruin it. So basically, overall, I'm expecting this to be a pretty easy game. I think the biggest questions, again, are really going to be coming from our secondary, just like Meyer described. And other than that, I don't expect much other than just like a nice Saturday watching football. So this has been a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of like what else I can say. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Again, I'm thinking 52-17. Go Bucks. Do you want to say bye? And guess what, guys? Say it's game day. Well, not yet, but it's going to be. Can you say that? Oh, Archie also has an Ohio State jersey that he finally gets to wear. So that's exciting. Okay, ready? Say, go Bucks. This has been really bad. I don't know how else to end this. Go Bucks.